Never share these 7 things about yourself. Stoicism. Some doors, once opened, never close again. You can guard a secret for 10 years, but the moment it leaves your lips, it stops being yours. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago, which is why Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, wrote his deepest thoughts in a private journal he never intended anyone to read. Think about that. The Emperor of Rome had something he refused to share with the world. So the question is not whether you should have a private inner life. The question is what belongs inside it. Today, you will learn 7 things the Stoics would tell you to keep to yourself. Not out of fear. Not out of paranoia. But out of strength. Because there is a quiet power in the person who does not spill everything they carry. Number 1. Your long-term goals before they are real. Have you ever announced a big plan and felt a strange satisfaction, as if you had already achieved it? That feeling is a trap. When you tell everyone you are going to write a book, launch a business, or transform your body, your brain collects a small reward of recognition before a single page is written or a single mile is run. Epictetus warned his students not to call themselves philosophers, but simply to do what philosophy demanded. In other words, do not talk about the person you plan to become. Become that person, quietly. There is a practical reason too. An unfinished goal is fragile. It cannot survive the doubt of your uncle at dinner, the smirk of a coworker, the lukewarm reaction of a friend. Imagine 2 people. One posts every detail of the company they are about to start. The other registers it, builds it, and announces it when it earns its first customer. Which one do you respect more? Work in silence. Let the results speak in your place. Number 2. Your income and your finances. Money is the fastest way to distort a relationship. The moment people know exactly what you earn, they stop seeing you and start seeing a number. Earn more than they expected, and envy creeps in. Earn less, and quiet condescension follows. Either way, something honest between you dies. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, wrote constantly about wealth, but his central point was always the same. Money is an indifferent thing. It is not good or evil in itself. What matters is your character while holding it. So why hand strangers a false measuring stick for your worth? Think of the person at the office who mentions their salary once, just once, and how the air in the room changes. Or the friend who reveals an inheritance and suddenly notices new warmth from people who never called before. Keep your finances private, not because money is shameful, but because it says nothing true about who you are. Let people measure you by your conduct, the only currency the Stoics respected. Number 3. Your family conflicts. Every family has friction. The brother who does not call. The parent who criticizes. The argument that flares up every holiday. These wounds are real, and the temptation to vent them to outsiders is strong. Resist it. Marcus Aurelius opened his meditations by listing what he learned from his family and teachers: gratitude first, grievance nowhere. He surely had complaints. He chose not to broadcast them. Here is the problem with sharing family conflict. Your listener hears one side, forms a verdict, and holds on to it long after you and your family have reconciled. You forgive your sister. Your coworker never does. Now every family gathering you mention is filtered through a story you told in a moment of anger. Picture venting about your father to a friend, then watching that friend greet him coldly at your birthday. You built that wall with your own words. Handle family matters inside the family, or inside your own reflection. The Stoics called these people your assigned companions in life. The assignment is yours to work out, not the crowd's. Number 4. Your acts of charity. Virtue performed for applause stops being virtue. It becomes theater. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a person who does a good deed should be like a vine that produces grapes and asks for nothing more, moving on to produce again, expecting no praise. Compare that to the modern habit of filming a donation, photographing a good deed, and posting generosity like a trophy. Ask yourself honestly, If the camera disappeared, would the kindness remain? When you announce your charity, you quietly convert a gift into a transaction. You gave money, and you are collecting admiration as payment. The person you helped becomes a prop in your reputation. The Stoics believed the reward for a good action is the action itself, the way the reward for having eyes is seeing. Nothing else is owed to you. So help the struggling friend and never mention it. Give what you give and delete the evidence. There is a rare, almost secret pleasure in kindness no one knows about. That pleasure belongs entirely to you, and no algorithm can take a cut of it. Number 5. Your next move after a setback. You lost the job. The relationship ended. The business failed. In that raw moment, everyone around you becomes an advisor, and the pressure to explain your comeback plan is enormous. Say nothing yet. A plan announced in pain is usually a plan built on pride, designed to save face rather than to succeed. The Stoics taught that the obstacle itself can become the way forward, but only after clear thinking, and clear thinking takes time. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the impediment to action advances action, that what stands in the way becomes the way. Notice he wrote that to himself, not to an audience. Consider the man who gets fired on Friday and announces a bold new venture on Monday, mostly so former colleagues will not pity him. 6 weeks later the venture is abandoned, and now he carries 2 public failures instead of 1. Compare him to the woman who goes quiet after a layoff, studies for months, and reappears in a better position. Recover in private. Reappear when you are ready. Number 6. Your weaknesses, to people who have not earned your trust. Notice the precision here. The Stoics were ruthlessly honest about their own flaws. Seneca examined his conscience every night, asking what fault he had cured that day and where he had failed. But he did this in private reflection and in letters to a trusted friend, not in the public square. Vulnerability is valuable. Indiscriminate vulnerability is dangerous. When you confess your deepest insecurities to someone who has not proven their character, you are handing them a map of exactly where to strike. Maybe they never will. But why gamble? Think of the coworker who admits, at a casual lunch, that he feels like a fraud in his role. A year later, when a promotion opens up, that confession resurfaces in a conversation he was never meant to hear. Trust is built in layers, tested over time, through small confidences honored before large ones are offered. Share your struggles with the few who have carried your secrets faithfully. With everyone else, let your weaknesses remain your own private work. Number 7. Your inner philosophical work. This may be the most surprising one. Do not advertise your self-improvement. Do not lecture your friends about discipline, post your morning routine, or explain Stoicism at every dinner party. Epictetus told his students plainly. Do not explain your philosophy. Embody it. He compared it to sheep, who do not vomit up grass to show the shepherd how much they have eaten. They digest it quietly, and it shows up as wool and milk. Your philosophy should show up the same way, as patience when someone insults you, as calm when the flight is cancelled, as steadiness when everyone else panics. The moment you brand yourself publicly as the disciplined one, the stoic one, the enlightened one, 2 things happen. You start performing growth instead of pursuing it, and you invite the world to watch for your every stumble. You quit sugar and announce it. Then someone catches you with a dessert, and now the conversation is about your hypocrisy, not your progress. Read the books. Do the work. Say nothing. Let people wonder why you have changed. So here is the thread that ties all 7 together. The Stoics drew a hard line between what belongs to you and what belongs to the world. Your judgments, your intentions, your inner life, these are the only things truly in your power. Everything you share crosses that line and becomes public property, to be judged, twisted, envied, or used. This is not a call to become cold or secretive. Speak warmly. Listen generously. Be honest in all your dealings. But understand the difference between openness and exposure. A fortress with open gates is hospitable. A fortress with no walls is a ruin. Marcus Aurelius called the well-ordered mind an inner citadel, a stronghold where no chaos of the outside world could reach. Build yours. Guard it. And the next time you feel the urge to share a goal, a wound, a plan, or a triumph, pause and ask one question. Does saying this make me stronger, or does it just feel good for a moment? Strength stays quiet. Let them wonder.